Now, something has happened in Burkina Faso, a coup attempt.
Ce soir, 3 janvier 2026, nous apprenons avec beaucoup de tristesse, avec beaucoup d'anarchie.
Few soldiers were being arrested today in Burkina Faso for being part of the coup d'etat, and also some civilians. Their aim was to kill Captain Ibrahim Traore and to destabilize the country. Now, so many of you were asking me that, if Russia and China cannot protect Venezuela, their ally, do you think that they can protect Captain Ibrahim Traore, or do you think that they can protect the Sahel leaders? It is not the duty of Russia and China to protect us. This is what you guys should know. It is the duty of we the Africans to protect ourselves from the outsiders. It is the duty for us the Africans to protect ourselves from the aggressors. Now, how do we do these things? By working together, not collaborating with the enemies like the way right now. The man who orchestrated this coup d'etat, the former president of Burkina Faso, Damiba, he was the man, and plus the president of Ivory Coast as well, Alassane Ouattara. Not only do they orchestrated the coup d'etat, but if the coup d'etat should also went through, they also want to use some airplanes from their countries because they can get into Burkina Faso just within some minutes. They also want to get some air support from those countries to go and bomb some military bases as well in Burkina Faso. This was their main plan, but luckily it didn't went through. So some soldiers were being arrested. Now, there is only one way Russia or China can get involved militarily when something is happening in our countries or in Venezuela. For example, if we have signed a security pact deal with Russia, let's say Burkina Faso with Russia, Mali with Russia, or Niger with Russia, whereby it says that if someone should attack Mali, Russia will involve directly. But if something should also happen in Russia, which means that Malian soldiers are also going to be sent there to go and fight together with the Russian soldiers to defend Russia. And none of these things was signed. So which means that in the case of Venezuela as well, Russia and Venezuela, they have a close relationship, but they do not have signed any deal like that. If they should have signed any deal like that, then Russia will protect Venezuela from America by sending their soldiers on the ground. But they did not sign that. So which means that it is not the duty of the Russians to protect us, but us, we the Africans. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? What I'm just trying to say is that, any African leader or any African who want to overthrow a good governance like the way we are seeing it in Mali, Burkina Faso and Niger, those people need to be,
And this is the claim from the government. The transitional government of Burkina Faso announced that it foiled an attempt coup targeting Ibrahim Traore, the current president of Burkina Faso. Now, this is according to the official statements that the plot was planned early January, and it is reported it include an assassination attempt against Captain Traore.
You see what I was saying? When I'm telling you, it's about the nation, it's about the people, it's about the soldiers. Do you know there is attempt coup d'etat that I'm getting? I will still get it very clear from Burkina Faso. That the ex-president want to do coup d'etat by, convincing the soldiers around Ibrahim, and they want to assassinate him and take over the government and give it back to those that are in charge before. But there is a lot of protest right now in Ibobo-Jula, so they are standing with their president. They are standing and protect the national interest. This is the difference between Burkina and Venezuela. If the nation did not set the president out, there is no how the president will be captured. Imagine a ex-president who sits on power for how many years, he have nothing to offer the country. You were removed, and now you are trying to plan a coup d'etat. How many times they were planning coup d'etat about the life of Ibrahim? The way they honor life Thomas Sankara, they want to do the same thing with Ibrahim. But the nations is protecting him, and the soldiers are trying to... This one, they still fail again. We are rushing about Venezuela. They are doing attack in Burkina Faso. People are too greedy. They believe they are the only one who can manage power. They believe they are the only one who can control and lead. They believe they are the only one who know the right thing to do. They don't believe in other people's leadership. So they are hungry for power. And if you give them the power they cannot do anything. They are not even meant to be leader. They have nothing to offer the nation and Africa at large. You were a president before you were overthrown. What do you do to the nation? How do you develop the nation? If the country is good, nobody will do coup d'etat on you. And now they are planning coup d'etat again. They even do it already, but it failed. When will Africa get sense? When will Africa get sense? When will... But thank God, Burkinafaso are really, really wise right now, because a lot of attempts have been making on the life of Ibrahim. But just because Burkinafaso are already wise, they are protecting their president. If not, if it was before, they will just finish that man before 1 year. They will remove him before 1 year, when people were ignorant of what they want. But I believe it's good the way Ibrahim is bringing the nation into the government, and is bringing the government to the people. He's making everything transparent. He's giving them every bit of what he's doing. That is why the nation is standing and protecting him. You see? They will keep trying and they will always fail. They will always try, but they will always fail. I think France might be involved. We don't know much, but we know that the ex-president is involved in this. And he will be getting his support from other nations. I'm hearing about Togo, but the full gist will be coming. But Bobojulaso people, please give me more information. Send me news. And I will contact and see how Ouagadougou is going right now. But thank God we did not lose Ibrahim. This is just early 2026. A lot is already going on. Imagine.
While the USA was abducting Maduro from his home in his sleep with his wife, 2 other important things were happening that they don't want you to look at. They wanted to look over there while they are pulverizing the encampments in Gaza. That's the first. But if you've been paying attention, you know. The other one is that France had the audacity, this piece of skinny sausage had the audacity to try to remove this guy from power, but his people showed up on the streets and did not allow. There's videos everywhere on social media of the people of Burkina Faso coming to the streets, surrounding the government building where he was, and saying, we are not going to allow for the colonizer to come back and remove our leader. They try to do it in the quiet while you were paying attention to what's happening in Venezuela. But pay attention. People aren't taking it.
Let's talk about this. And there's an accusation to the former leader whom Traore took power from, because the government has directly accused Paul Henry Damibia, the former interim president who was himself overthrown in 2022, of being the mastermind behind the plot. Now, the key points on this coup is that Damibia have been living outside the country since his removal. Number 2, the government alleged that he is coordinating destabilizing efforts from abroad. Number 3, there is no independent court ruling has yet confirmed the accusation publicly. But I want to talk about this. Because this accusation, I can confirm, I can concur with it. Of course, the public has gone outraged, and this story matters a lot. The alleged coup plot is something that is used to destabilize countries. Okay? Now, Traore government has expelled French troops. We have to know that. French media turned hostile. Western narrative shifted rapidly. And this pattern is familiar. African leaders assert independence. Western media labels them unstable. Coup rumors here and there. So history tells us this script rarely ends peacefully. Burkina Faso pivot away from France and has opened its doors for new alliances. And one of the alliances is Russia, the Wagner, and strategic alignment. Okay? And critics frame this as dangerous. So how is it dangerous to find new allies? How is it dangerous to get new allies? Okay? So the coup attempt is as much about storytelling as it's about power. Because there's a Western framing that military strongman and stable region, democratic at risk. And there is African framing about the sovereignty under attack, foreign sabotage, and revolutionary defense. So, whoever controls the narrative controls legitimacy. And Burkina Faso is not isolated. Burkina Faso, it is part of the continental shift. Mali, Niger, Guinea, and growing youths' consciousness. And Africa is questioning. Africa is questioning. So, Captain Ibrahim Traore, survival does not guarantee victory. There's a lot of challenges. And for me, I see if Namibia is operating from outside, then he has joined forces with the people who don't want. Because remember, France want to take over again. Because France is losing. By France moving out of Burkina Faso, by France not getting access in Burkina Faso resources again, it is painful. So they need to come back again, and they are coming in different ways. They'll find allies, they'll find malls in Burkina Faso so that they come and take over. And this alleged coup attempt is not merely about removing a leader. No, it's about stopping an idea. Idea that African can govern itself, the idea that Africa can say no, the idea that Africa can remember. So this is one of the things they are trying to stop, not Ibrahim Traore, because Ibrahim Traore has come with the idea. Ibrahim Traore has come with the idea that Africa can govern itself. Ibrahim Traore has come with the idea that we can control our own resources. Ibrahim Traore has come with the idea that we can have sovereignty within our own self. But now they want to stop this idea. They want to stop this idea because they know exactly what they will lose when Africa starts realizing themselves. They want to stop this idea because they know what they lose when African countries say no. When African countries say, you know what, you need to sign here first. You need to go with our own rules. That's what they are doing. There will be more attempts. There will be more and more coup attempts in Burkina Faso. This is not the first one. And they will use, they stopped Sankara. They planned the coup, they removed him, and stopping Sankara was not about stopping the leader. It was about stopping the idea. About Gaddafi, it was not about stopping the leader. It was about stopping the idea of Thomas Sankara. It was about stopping the idea of Muammar Gaddafi. It's about stopping the idea of all these leaders that were taken or were unalived. You know what I mean? So the coups will be here if the idea is still here. But what we need to do as black Africans, let's stand together with our leaders who are willing to change. Let's protect them because they hold the key to our tomorrow. Okay? Those leaders who want to change, those leaders who are here for the people, those are the people. We don't want politicians. We don't want politicians. So the coup that has been in Nigeria or not in Burkina Faso, this is to tell us that they will not leave us in peace when we start having our own peace. They will not leave us, or they will not allow us to make a move. They want Africa to remain the Africa they have been saying, poor, diseased, dependable, and everything, so that their systems continue to flourish. I hope God of heavens will protect Ibrahim Traore.